What is your relationship with your colleagues?
Man, in life, we must always give space for falling down and standing up again. Well, in the industry we have too many staircases that were not well built. And so even if you try to get up, somebody's out there to try to bring you down. It was a bit of diabolism in the industry. Some people were diabolical. Some people were envious and jealous of my shine and all that. I was blackmailed.
Blackmailed.
Yeah.
Hello, viewers. My name is Ima Ehumadu. Like most of you would like to call me Labista. Once again, I welcome you to your favorite podcast, the Nollywood Hardcore. This is the 2025 edition. I'm sorry, a whole lot of you have been asking me questions like, why have we not been going on air since 2025? And that is because the availability of some of our legends. Our legends are very busy traveling from one part of the country to another. So tracking them down has not been easy. But having said that, this is our first edition, second season, first edition 2025. And guess who we have here? Today I'm going to be presenting to you, I'm going to be bringing to you one of the most unique actors here in Nollywood, a legend. Someone most of you grew up watching. Someone who has given a lot of you joy during your childhood. You have watched him in action movies, you've watched him in comedy movies, and you've also watched him in romantic movies. He has certain kind of accents and certain kind of slogan that some of you will remember him by. But I'm not going to be revealing all of that to you. I will wait for you to see for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the studio with me, a legend from way back. I present to you Mr. Hanks Anuku.
Hi.
Hanks, it's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
It has taken me some time, I would say months, if not almost a year, to bring you to the studio. And that is because you've been busy traveling from one place to the other. I think, I remember even last week we were supposed to be here in the studio, but you had to travel to Lagos. Hope your trip was fine.
Yeah, great.
Okay. So Hanks, the essence of this podcast is for your viewers, for your fans, your family, your friends, to get to know everything about you. A whole lot of time people will be like, this guy that likes to speak like an American, where is he from? They wonder. So that is why we created this podcast, for them to get to hear from you, up close and personal. So we're going to be taking these questions from the very beginning. And the first question that I'm going to be asking you is, you're going to tell us your full name. I'm sure that aside Hanks Anuku, there are other names that are attached to your real name. So you're going to tell us your full name, and then you're going to tell us where you're from, and then, yes, your full name, where you're from, and then possibly we'll talk about where you grew up and how you grew up.
Yeah, my name is Hank Anuku, or you might call me Hank Henry Chukwemeka Kende Anuku. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother in the United States. I'm from Owoyibu, Ika Northeast of Delta State, which is Abo. And I speak Igbo, some Yoruba, and little Hausa, little foreign language and this and that. But I'm a member of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, senior actor and a legend, if I must say so.
So you're a twin,
Yeah.
and your twin brother is in the United States.
Yeah.
Are you guys identical?
Far to know. It looks like my dad, I look like my mom. But I'm the radical, yeah.
Okay, so how come you said you are the Kinde? Yeah, that means he is a Taiwo.
Yeah.
why did you guys have the Yoruba name?
Because we were born in Ibadan, and my father was a federal First Republic minister at that time. Chief Edward Awudo Anuku was a minister at that time with the Action Group and worked for Waterworth. So most of his friends were Yorubas. So they decided to give me Kernde and my twin brother title.
Were you guys born in Ibadan?
Yeah.
So that means your early stage of life started from Ibadan.
Well, it did, yes, somehow, but my father used to travel a lot, and we also sometimes travel with him if there's space for us, since we were kids. And from Ibadan, we lived in Lagos, and from Lagos overseas, to and fro. You know how the world was before he fell ill and all that, and we lost him. 12th January 1971. I went to the world beyond.
That was when you lost your dad.
Yeah.
In 1971. Oh, wow. That's a long time. I wasn't even born then. Okay, so you were born in Ibadan, then moved on to Lagos. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of your educational background. You started your primary school where?
My primary school started All Saints Church School in Ibadan, and we went on to Sacred Heart. From Sacred Heart, we traveled again and came into Lagos, and we went into primary school again, which is Schuler Baptist School. And from there, came back to Ibadan, to Loyola College Ibadan, where I was with my twin brother, and I became a labor prefect. I played basketball, volleyball, 4-year state intermediary. And from there, I moved on. Gradually, I went overseas, came back, and my mom wanted me to stay back in Nigeria for a little while. I did. At the L.G. Polytechnic, I was there, value of decision for about 2-3 years. I left, went overseas. Was overseas since before I came back here, and wanted to know God more, so I kind of got married to an old school mate of mine, and a lady from a suburb, Antonia, where being single, all right. So I guess I married the wrong spouse, and I had to move on again. And while I was with her, I studied with Pastor Diabolism at University of Ibadan, who conferred me in Christian ministry and theology. So I'm a pastor, but a radical pastor.
You're a pastor, but a radical one. Yeah. Because, you and I have come a long way. If I'm one of the people that, somebody can ask, do you know Hanks? I could say, yes, to a great extent, I know Hanks. I know that you are very well inclined to Christianity and religion. I remember sometimes we sit together and you get to pray for us. And guys, you won't believe it. If this man starts to pray, when you hear him pray, that is when you understand. When he tells you that he's a pastor, then you understand where he's coming from. That I know for sure. So at what point in your life did you travel to the United States?
That was quite long. I think it's in the 80s. I think it's 80.
Maybe after your secondary school?
After the secondary school, I left. Went to the States. From the States, I went to England, where I worked as a security officer and worked for an oil company in America called Conoco. And I was in England for years and kept going through and fro to the States, back to England, and I went to Rome, to the Vatican City, Italy. And I studied language, Italian language, and I lived there for a while, and came back to England again, and then from there went back to the States, and suddenly came back from England, and my mom was like, "Hey, come back home." initially I didn't want to come home, but my father is buried here in Nigeria, and I came back home, and because of my mom, I stayed back for a little while, for getting to know what's up in the village and all that, because I never really lived in the village. It's like strange when I had to go there to sort out things, and on the way, I found that Nigeria was cool at that time. So I stayed back a little while. I kept going on vacation sometimes, just tripping. And just the way it is, I decided to stay back. I found Nigeria interesting until whatever happened in the industry happened. And then, yeah.
Okay, so the way you speak Yoruba, as good as you are with Yoruba language, the same way you are good with Igbo language.
Mm-hmm.
But the irony is that your Igbo doesn't sound Delta. As much as I've heard you speak the Delta Igbo too, I've heard you speak that, but you speak more of the Anambra kind of Igbo. Why is that?
Oh, well, my mom is half mixed Fulani and Igbo from a Zobo, but the parents were mixed.
You can say your mom is half Fulani and half Igbo.
Oh, I'm from a Zobo, And, I stayed more with my mom because, I lost my dad in that for a long time. So I don't know. I pick up languages easily, So and I picked it up. Being close to my mom, I didn't have a dad. And we lived in Zulu, I think, a couple of months. Was during the war, after the war, yeah. And, there it was. I started speaking Igbo, and I don't know how it happened, but they just speak Igbo, not my father's Ikad dialect. I find that difficult to comprehend, to speak. So I took on the easier one, which was my mom's dialect, and that's it.
I completely agree with you that you are quick at picking up languages. Because I've heard you speak Igbo, your Igbo is fluent, your Yoruba is fluent, your English is as fluent as we can hear you right now. Yeah, I don't know about the Italiano. I've heard you speak Italiano also twice, and then also Hausa. Okay, that is interesting. So guys, this is legendary Hanks Anuku right here telling us his story and his history. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And for those of you that has been confused one way or the other about his identity, his original identity, this gives you the opportunity to get to hear it and know it. Not just hearing it, now you know it. He is from Delta, Abo, but he speaks Anambra Igbo just because his mom is half Fulani and half Igbo, and he stayed more with his mom.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that clarification, Hanks. Moving forward, let's come into Nollywood. How did Nollywood find you? Or how did you find Nollywood? Who found who?
Long time ago, I was on vacation, and I was staying with my mom in Lagos there. My cousins are on the E bars. They one day came over to me, say I'd missed them for a long time. And
the name Ifediba, does it have anything to do with Kevin? Kevin Ikediba?
No, not Ikediba. Ifediba. Okay, Ifediba. That's I haven't seen them for years now. They just took me on a walk, and I went with them one afternoon, and we got to where we were going, and I saw loads of people, crowd, and I asked them a question. I said, hey, well, we're coming here. I want to go just have a drink or something, you're bringing me. I said, no, there's an audition here. And I mean, let's go check it out and see maybe I could fit in. I said, for real?
Where was that?
In Lagos, man, a long time ago.
Where in Lagos?
It was somewhere Larry.
Okay.
Long time ago. We wasn't the AGN then. It was,
Yes, it was not.
yeah,
National Actor.
that's right. But we got there and I fell into line with the auditions and there was it. First time out, first cut is as deep as and I got a role to play. And I can't really remember the first movie. I think it was The Skeleton. It was an evil movie.
That was your first movie?
Yeah.
A skeleton?
Mm-hmm. It was A Skeleton.
An Igbo movie?
Yeah. No, I think I first did one with Regina Oscar. Where it was called Farouk. I don't remember the title of that movie. It was after that I went into. Hers was a series, and after that I went into. It was a skeleton with Fidelis Duker, and I was playing the role of a doctor. Yeah, I felt like they loved it. I mean, bang, there was before I could tell ABC. I had like 10 scripts. This whole such a step, and they tried me on with some action because I told them that I'm not a toy or other like ladyish movies. I like hard movies, hardcore. So they tried an action movie, bang, blockbuster, man.
Was that before Tickle Benson discovered you?
Yeah, because I was with Philip Trimnell and when we did our bottleneck. Philip Trimnell is now in the States, We did bottleneck with a couple of veterans as well, but somewhere in the great beyond now. It was after that we hooked up on Tequila when we did Birthday Light and My Love. Yeah. No, I can't remember most of his movies because I don't watch most of my movies about her.
You don't watch most of your movies?
Yeah, I don't.
You just act and you move on. And then people get to tell you how you acted in
this. I don't see the watch. So I don't.
Okay, let's get to see a clip on the TV. Maybe you will remember this particular movie on the shows on the TV. Let's see if you can remember this one and or maybe the title. And there's something about this particular clip that we're about to show you now. Let's see it. What's...
That roof for my life. Easy for the gate. Vicky.
All right. Thank you very much, Consul. Thank you. Do you remember this movie?
Yeah, this is I'm in love. I'm in love. Yeah, this is one of the blockbuster action comics we had back in the day.
Yes.
The awesome movie.
It stood out probably because of some of the slogans that you use in movies. This Obanebon.
Yeah, when we went to get married to some lady or something. Isn't that that? Choir.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. This was famous, the Obanebon one. It's like people started to call you Obanebon one.
Yeah. That's where somebody just called me when I got in here
Just now.
downstairs.
Even after all these years, I still remember it. They love it. So these are some of the features that makes you a great actor. You drop certain kind of lines, and people never forget these lines. Anytime they see you, they remember these lines. They don't just remember the lines; it takes them down memory lanes, and it keeps their memories fresh. And that is why a whole lot of youths today, we see legends like us, and they'll be like, "Thank you for making my childhood." I get that a lot these days, and I'm sure you get that a lot too.
Oh, yes, I do it all the time. Yeah, and it's awesome. And I'm wondering, like, who am I to make somebody's after? I keep telling them, I said, God did it. I didn't do it, but God did it. But it's also good because once people appreciate your good works or your prolific way of acting, it goes to show there's got value. I mean, it made an impact, positive impact on the minds of people, which is always good. When people commend you for great works of art, and in the visuals, I feel, honored. Yeah, I feel honored and humbled to actually hear somebody say, "Hey, man, you did this." Oh, really?
Okay, so you can't particularly remember your first movie.
There are too many movies, man. I can't.
Yes, I know there are too many movies.
I don't know which one.
You can't remember the first one. But can you remember the one that put you on the spotlight, the one that made you famous? Because I believe that for every actor, there's always this.
Yeah, I think it was, I think My Love.
My Love.
Yeah, there's My Love.
This one is I'm in Love. Okay, the one My Love is the one with Chege.
Yeah, and Ramsey.
Yeah, Chege and Ramsey. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's not Teko's movie. It's this guy's movie, OJ Productions. Yeah. Okay. So after that came The Senator, which is with Teko.
Yeah.
The Senator made a lot of impact, and Formidable Force.
Okay.
Yeah, about her, Those ones I know because, something just takes me back to it, but I can't tell you all my movies about it. It's not possible.
No, it's not possible.
Because to that.
At a point in time, you were like one of the hottest actors in Nollywood, the most sought after. And you know how it was then. At the moment an actor it's hot, every producer wants to use you. As a matter of fact, they file behind you, and sometimes they get to fight over an actor. I think it was crazy, because you will see two producers fighting over one actor. What do you expect him to do? Divide himself? No. So I don't know why they do that, and now they go about that fighting.
I think it was the money rush, they hadn't seen that kind of easy way to hook up on some cheese, some money. Everybody wanted to make money, get things happening, pick up a lady, buy a new car, build a house or something. There was a money rush. I call maybe the gold rush at that time. And people were so much in a hurry. They were not patient to understand that in filmmaking, you need to be precise. You need to have your coordinates right. You need to endure the patient so that it can be done properly. Because, but they know be firewood now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So it came to that point where they were looking, man, this I'm gonna have him before you, this and that, or some might even add up some more money. Yeah, to get you to their sets. Yeah, that's what used to happen until whatever it is change, it's a social change.
So did you at any point in time play that kind of game, take more money from a producer and then about?
Well, man, damn, I'm a big spender, man. I also had my own dreams and aspirations, you know, dude. I mean, you know me. We all wanted to buy new cars and, do all the stuff, get some good stuff, go shopping, just pose. Yeah, I took some money, but it's none of I took out of being selfish or whatever. I knew I had need for it, so I took it because and my mom was alive then. I was to give them one or two things, to get by with, and I did. Yeah, I took some. Higher pay. And from then, they went higher. Because we had a point where we started, with almost nothing until the market started booming. And we had to,
Okay, yeah. Let's look at the second clip. I had to choose these clips because I knew that there are certain languages that you used in these clips that has stayed and stayed the test of time. At every point in time when one runs into you, these are the lines that comes to the mind first. So even me as your colleague and your friend, the moment I saw that clip, the moment I watched that movie, those clips also stayed in my head. And from time to time, it always rotates and evolves on the social medias. Yeah. So I said I was going to make use of those ones to, instead of going into different kind of movies. But let's see this clip. Let's see the second clip. Console, let's see the second clip. Yeah. Then there's our fresh looking house in the
My father already said my intentions. But that is that I'm here to honorably and respectfully take away from her father and her mother. My street priest is here to be my wife. But there is an adage that says, "Every bell will go bell." In case it be a Monday. I mean, where the hell did you get that shit from anyway? Because I don't believe in that bullshit. Damn, man. I believe in every bell good bell. In case we be Monday, I fucking show her will their back.
So you can imagine that. Boy. So I've always wanted to ask you, especially the last statement, what you believe in. Ego belu, guess nibia mambe. I fucking show him where I'll get there. Yeah. So was that part of the script or did you create that?
No, it came from the director then. I don't know what his name is, the director. I had to practice for a while on that. Because much of my English was French. So I had to get into my faculty, that evil adage, and I stayed for about an hour and picked it up.
Okay.
And it wasn't in the script. We just brought it in and said that, we could crack the nut. We could have a hook, to make people chuckle. And when we did it, it was fantastic. Yeah. So it just stuck in their minds, man. Isn't any way you play it? If you play the game, the people are going to be watching it. I mean, for a very long time to come. This movie, they love it. They'll just sit there and have a beer, just chuckling.
Yes. That's great. And these two parts, anyway, they talk about this movie, these are the two scenes that people talk this. One the ball.
Yeah, quite on my bike freaking.
Right, but
I'm by this one.
and the Apple can show him well again. Man, I miss the Nollywood of those days.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
But in the meantime, I'm going to ask you, at the peak of your career, how did that make you feel? Being the most sought after and the most wanted actor in Nollywood in Nigeria.
Oh, and knowing quite well that I had been overseas for years and coming back, I didn't look at it as anything, and I thought it was just like, me having fun and all that, until I started seeing the cheese coming, and you know what I'm saying?
And it was looking good.
Yeah, it started getting better, so I felt good. I felt good about it, I had the birds, and, my friends came in. You know how Nigeria people are, and then they see you with money, they want to be your friend. When you don't get it, they're on the flight, man, But then, I was up high, man. I was having a good life, and I was feeling great with everything.
Yes, I still remember those days. You were one of the first set of actors to acquire a car.
Yeah.
You had a BMW, which I think is your favorite car. Yes, looking at you, I still remember you this period. Roving with your BMW. That would raise the nice sound. Before you now went into biking and had a power bike.
You know that we hung out together, so it's just great.
We used to ride bikes together. A lot. Sometimes I even borrow his bike.
Yeah,
And there was this production that I produced that you played the lead there. GL2.
I can't remember that thing.
At the point in time, I had to borrow your bike as well to just go get money to consider Suzuki 1100. Yes, it was an 1100. It's very super power.
Yes,
Man. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you guys are having a wonderful time. And as we are talking, I'm sure we're also driving you guys down the memory lanes, remembering how little you were then when you were watching these movies, and then all of that memories flashing through your heads. The same way you're feeling is the same way we're feeling talking about these days, because we went through all of that. It was one of the reasons I had to give this podcast Nollywood Hardcore is because it was a very tough time in Nollywood. Growing up in Nollywood and growing Nollywood. It was a very tough period in our lives, but we stood the test of time and we conquered, and here we are today, still alive.
Yeah, man.
The most important part is to be alive, and that's it.
And be in good health and be alive. Despite the fact that we hear societal change, change is constant, but, sometimes it looks as if it's a bit blur. Sometimes it looks as if you're not even there. Sometimes you're like, just in the dark, and suddenly they just find light and you start soaring higher again. You know what I'm saying? Then, we must always have an audition. You would go for that audition.
Definitely.
You must be in that audition. And we used to have auditions, and if you stand there, you go through screening, you go through... I think we need to have to start afresh again, rejuvenate this style of getting to have artists go through auditions so that we can know how it feels in the presence of new people. You know, I love auditions. I think we need to start that.
Some of us still do that. Like me, for every movie that I produce, I like to do auditions and bring in new actors, some new actors into the production. But I don't think it's everybody that wants to do that. These days that technology has taken over us. People rather call up for send you a DM on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. But I think it would be nice if we continue to run the auditions, because that's the only way you can have raw talents presented before you, and you get to choose from them who you want to use from the movie. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to take a short break. We'll go on to a very short break, and we'll be back to continue on this Nollywood Hardcore, the Legends Untold Story with Hank Anuku right here. Hello everyone, welcome back to Nollywood Hardcore, and it is still a session with the legendary Hank Anuku. I want to believe that you guys have been enjoying the podcasts, or the question and answer session, and all the memory lane that we've taken you guys down. We're getting into the next segment of this podcast. And Mr. Hank Anuku, on this segment of the podcast, we're going to go into more of your personal life. And the first question I'm going to ask you here, during the course of our talking, the introduction, you talked about being married. The lady you talked about, you married, and you said it was a wrong marriage. That means you guys were not compatible. But you guys had kids together?
Or no?
Is she the mother of your kids?
No, she's not.
Okay, can you tell us?
I have a stepdaughter from her. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, she had a stepdaughter.
She had a daughter for somebody
before you married her.
Before marriage.
So then you and I eventually got married to someone else?
After that, I'm separated from her. It's been more than 10 years. So I'm not married to anybody yet, but I have another lady who has 2 kids for me, who has a son and a daughter for me. And they live together with their mother. Yeah. But I'm not married. I'm not married again. I'm not married after, being with my first wife. I don't want to get married to any Nigerian now. I need to have to, because I went through a lot of, psychological turmoil and all that. I never expected I was going to be separated from her. So, as far as I'm concerned, it hurt me. But I had to move on, thinking I'd have a chance to get married again, but it never happened because the lady, and of course, my kid's mom, it's not the kind of woman I want to get married to. So we're just friends, and that's
But she had 2 kids for you.
She has 2 kids for me. That means I have to marry her. She's just my friend. I'm doing what I can. I like to be married and be happy in a marriage. I was with her for a couple of years. So I know she wasn't going to be my wifey. I like to be in love with somebody and, not just be infatuated or have lust for a woman. It's not the same thing. I feel the greatest of all is what I wanted to be with any woman who I'm going to get married to. It's not I'm not going to get married, but I'm scared of Nigerian women, overseas I had Caucasian friends, female friends. If I had to go back, but then it's a bit too, late now. Maybe if I go on vacation, I might find a friend, I find myself a lot more compatible with Caucasian females, and even while I was overseas, I didn't go out with any colored woman. It's just blonde, blue eyes, and that's what I like. He got me through. They never bothered me until I came to Nigeria.
So the one you married she's a Nigerian woman.
Oh, she's from South here.
But you were close with her?
Oh, I was. She was. I mean, we was school together. I was in love with her, but money problem. And she know me coming after I had too many friends around me, females, all that. And I guess, I had my own money too, right? Maybe I guess it was like, hey, I should stop acting. I can't stop acting.
She said you should stop acting.
I mean, she probably was jealous of all the things, me being a superstar, having the attention come to me like that. You know how women in Nigeria, women always nag. They will bitch about it, But there's nothing I can do. I can't stop acting. You see, not in Hollywood, we have old men and women still acting. They're all there.
Yes.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that if I'm having a break because of a black male, that means that I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm not giving up. I'm just like a biker. I'm a biker for life. And so I'm an actor for life.
So she was the one that left you, not you.
4 years she did. She did.
Okay, and that broke your heart.
Yes, she did.
Okay. Well, we're hoping that someday in the future, be it here in Nigeria or over there in the overseas, you get to find another woman who appeals to you, who you love and she loves you, so you can get married to somebody else. Because I feel personally, I think as we're getting older, we should have a companion that we can.
That's real. That's right, David, man. That's right. That's right. I'm looking and praying harder for it, and I guess it will probably happen. It will happen pretty soon. I'm praying harder for it.
I wish you the best of luck in that. Okay, moving forward, I'd like to ask you, because you are not the kind of person that associates easily. We don't get to see you maybe in social places easily with your colleagues and stuff like that. What is your relationship with your colleagues?
Man, or and in life, we must always give space for falling down and standing up again. But in the industry we have too many staircases that were not well built. And so even if you try to get up, somebody's out there to try to bring you down. It was a bit of diabolism in the industry. Some people were diabolical. Some people were envious, jealous of my shine and all that. I was blackmailed and all that. I don't know what I did to them, but that set me back a couple of years without.
You were blackmailed.
Yeah. I mean, they used photos or rushes that were made for a movie to try to calm me down. That I was mad and I was sick and all this and all that. And that devastated me a lot. It actually made me even have problems with my own immediate family and all that. I was knocked out a couple of years without jobs. Directors had their own say, the industry, they love to backbite and murmur, talk about things that they don't even know nothing about. And I left it like that. For years, no job, and I traveled to Ghana for a couple of years, and I worked for the president in the creative arts with Anuku there. And first I was weak, turned to a man named Muhammad, and I left. Came back as I went back to Ghana and campaigned for the Anuku and he won as well. So I was with him in the creative arts until I came back to Nigeria again, and I stayed in Nigeria until the COVID came here. Well, I was supposed to go back to Ghana to pick up my Ghanaian passport and all that, but the COVID devastated me. It didn't affect me per se, but it just stopped me from traveling. Yeah. I was never sick, but anyway. But, envying the industry is a terrible thing. Was in the industry today, we have a lot more people who are like hypocrites. They're not even learned per se or exposed. So they bring in that local characterization or local way of life that they think it's always going to be epic on set. I don't think so. When you speak to them, they seem not to understand. But when they see you, like, all the money, whoa, and they're like, you know how it is. The industry is not too. I mean, they're not the way I thought they would have been. I thought they would have been a bit, versatile with their mindsets, but they're all like one way. And going back one way has brought regression to the industry, has put the industry backward. They haven't even scored anything yet. I mean, what have we done? Apart from one or two people that know Genevieve and E Nolly who went into Netflix and all that. Every other small screen, home video, they haven't scored anything yet. They haven't won even international awards because they're just right, shallow writing, no depth, no nothing. They were just brushed to the one side and it drew them back. It's not the way it used to be. I felt like maybe back in the day was even actually better because people were all over. They were using A, B, C, D, It wasn't all like crunched in. Like we have to use one person for every. That's not the way it's done. Even in the United States, you know what to do. You can't write a script and then copyright another script and just put a little bit of difference in there. And then, it made it so boring. That's why when people see me sometimes, they're like, hey, you guys, man, damn. You guys were the real McCoy, the original. Well, I wish we had you. Hank, we need you back here. We need you come here. We love you. And all over the country. Even this morning, I had calls from Gambia, Sierra Leone. They're like, damn, I just went through your interview. And I saw that, we miss you here. But he says, what do you want me to do? If the producers don't want me, I'm not going to go on my knees and beg for crumbs of bread. I'm going to look for another way out. To get something else doing. So I was drawn back because of all those stuff. Just let it go.
Yes, I think I understand where you're coming from and what you are trying to talk about. And at this point in time, I would like us to really talk about this issue. Let's get to hear from you because I have known you a long time. And from time to time, we see flashes of you looking somehow different from you, who we know you to be. Let me play you something on the screen so that we'll have a clarity of what we're talking about. It's not just we that see it. Sometimes the fans get to see you too and make recordings. And the crazy thing is that the internet is always there to pick this things. Please, Consul, can we have this? Let's have that video played.
Okay, I've seen that. That's local for seas. I've seen that.
Yeah, so this part of you is one thing I would really love for you to tell the audience.
I told them before, this I know where it was on set and somewhere in Benin. I was trying to get, you see, my kind of actor is that I am not the shallow actor. If I have to have a role to be a mad person, I would be translating or translations in movie that makes them know that this is Orson is for real. Yeah, if you want me to be a mad person, I got to go out there without knowing anything, but just trying to figure out my life as a madman. You know, I had to go where mad people were in the marketplace. I'll sit and watch them. But people wouldn't know what I'm there to do. And then I take that along with me. So that when you call action, you print after action. I haven't even been on set when this thing came out because I was just trying to get into the mood of being that insane man, that they needed me to be. But I didn't even know who was recording that because it was quite early in the morning. I just wanted to get a feel of something different. I'm not a madman now, you know what I'm saying? But if you give me a role to play madman, I would score 100%. And there are different ways of being mad. The ones that, you know how bad people behave. It's not just one way. It's different ways of being mad. I could do that again in the streets right here. They're going to take it and say, hey, I could do a lot of stuff.
Yes, because this is one thing that I know that a lot of people have said different things about you concerning this kind of videos when they see you like this. Sometimes I sit in my house and I get calls and say, your friend is not looking good. What's going on? And some people will say that Hanks is going mad. And then I said to them that the Hanks I know is never mad. This has always been my reply to them. Right. Tell them that because I've known you for years, that you are not mad, And so, for those of you that are still watching, Hanks Anuku is seated right here. If he is mad, he would not be seated right here on this podcast, and that is just the truth. So, we all have our different challenges in life. Yes, and some of these challenges are things that the next person may not be able to explain. So one thing that I have come in terms with when it comes to you is that I have accepted you for who you are. You are one of the most unique people, very different from a whole lot of other actors in Nollywood. And I don't think that should be a reason for any producer to decide not to give Mr. Hanks a role. Recently, we did a movie together. Yeah, we called Sucker Punch. Yes. When I sat down with him and Mr. Zakoji and we were rehearsing, when he gave his delivery, as a matter of fact, where I was as the producer director, I teared up. You understand? I teared up because watching him deliver took me back. I said, this is the same Hanks. This is the Hanks, the actor that I know. And then I was glad that I used that movie. Yeah, great. Yes, it was a great one. And still have it there on YouTube. Yeah. So please, I'm going to use this opportunity to speak to every producer and every actor, every director out there. Hanks Anuku is an actor. He will always be an actor. So if you want him in your job, please feel free to reach out to him, or you can reach out to me. With me, I and him, we're always in touch. You can reach out to me. I'll reach out to him. If you need him on your set, please feel free to reach out to us.
That's great. And I want people to understand that in life, even if you have a different opinion or heart of stone towards another man or woman, you should actually go for deliverance in church. Because we all need deliverance. Is that you don't condemn people. We're not meant to be condemned. We're meant to be loved. There's a love thing ever like thyself. And that is deep. So just imagine if I were what they said, but may God forbid, would they love to be of help to that person who gave you joy, who made you laugh, who gave you a sweetness of life somehow, yet you didn't understand but loved it? What is the problem in loving one another, man? And there's another problem in there. And Nigerians should learn how to love one another. to lean in somebody because we lean in each other. We can't do it all alone. Life is not going to end for me now because God has not finished with me yet.
That's right.
Because I want you all to understand that love's the greatest of all. We should use that more often than being, negative about people's lives.
That is why even when Jesus came, he said to us that I didn't come for the righteous, but I came for the unclean one, the giver, for them to come to me. So we don't have any right to judge or castigate anyone. We're safe for who he is. Well, guys, we're just going to take another 1 minute break, and then we'll come back to the concluding parts of this podcast known as Nollywood Hardcore. And today, session is with Hanks and Anuku. Thank you. I still remain in Labista. Welcome back, viewers. This is still me, Ima Labista, and we're still on Nollywood Hardcore with Hanks and Anuku as our guest today. We're just going to try and round up. I'm sure a whole lot of you would not want us to round up, but definitely since we have other things to do and we're not going to be boring you guys with unnecessary talks, we're going to try and round this up as quickly as possible. So, Hanks, in conclusion, I'm just going to ask you a few questions in conclusion. You as a human, both as a person and in Nollywood, what has been your most embarrassing moment?
Oh. Well, I think our first is when, when we have to have item 7, which is, we have to eat and all that, and you get served like a dog. Even dogs, my dogs eat better food than some of the sets that I've been on. And they get to serve a senior actor that kind of food, and then one tiny piece of meat and all that. And, that was back in the day, And I used to stop the set and say, hey, if you want to get the best out of me, you're going to have to give me good food. And if you don't, I'm going to just walk away, and even leave the rest of the money with you, because that's not the way people work. Sometimes they even give no food to their upcomers, and I have to go and ask the director to stop the set and let them eat. That's embarrassing because they tell me and I have to stop the set. That is wrong to treat senior actors, not even the junior ones, like that. We all deserve to eat the same good food. But if you can't do that, then I'm going to use my money to go buy food. You're going to have to wait. And when I get my food, I come back and we'll start work again. And then sometimes you have people who take unnecessary photos when they're not supposed to. Just like what this one now, to destroy some of this character. So people find it funny, maybe because they weren't comments or likes or whatever, the one that's streaming and all this. But it's not fair way you do it. Like some bloggers get into trouble with this. You've heard some bloggers being locked up and all that. It's just that I have a forgiving heart and I let God take vengeance or whatever it's going on in my life. I also don't like when some directors or producers think they have you in their pockets. You don't have anyone in their pocket. We're not being bought over by anybody. Like, every time when they try me and catch women on me, oh, sometimes they don't pay me my balance. And then you expect me to start shouting for my balance when the agreement was that you're going to pay me before I even get up the set? Yeah, I'm a credible person. I don't steal, and I don't do all the stuff they do online. I'd rather count my suffering like pure joy and be content with what I have. God is the only one that can change my situation, and it's not man. That, and a few of the things that yourself happens on sets at times, and they derive joy in it, trying to run you down. And those little females and males on set that don't even know how to speak, they don't respect people, that they just come from the village because they're just picked up by a producer or something, that think you're on the same level with them. It's not. I'm not on the same level with there can be on the same level with you. So you need to humble yourself and speak well. If you don't know how to speak, you seal your lips and watch the game. There's so much negativity in the industry that I think we should cut down on that. It's not making the industry popular like it used to be because of all this rancor, strife, envy, jealousy, and all this, those crappy stuff they do there is wrong. It's messing up the industry. And we have to actually start afresh again to put those things together again. A lot of respect for the industry, and they have to be. People got to know that this is a serious business. It's not a playground. Just because we're on set doesn't mean we're playing. The energy that comes out of your heart, out of your life, that you use to transform the character so that people will believe it, it's not easy.
Sure.
You can't. If you call them now, you see them when you audition, when I was there, you saw the mistakes that we're making. And then sometimes I have to sit there for like an hour waiting for them to get it all right, to get a script right. That's embarrassing too. I just sit there waiting and I'm sweating, and when I would have finished, and then if I have to go home, you want me to do till 12, and I say no, 9 p.m. is okay, and we'll have another day though. What's the problem? And they want to try and make it look as if I paid you, so you must do this. You don't tell me that. If you want to do that, go get somebody else. I can always wait. Yeah, but don't come to tell me that you paid me and therefore I must do what you want. It's not true. I do what the director wants me to do and not what a producer wants me to do. The producer can't be the director, except we know that the producer is a director.
Yes.
And the DGM.
Yes. I've seen and heard a couple of times, over the years, some of the things you just narrated now. You see directors complaining Hanks is difficult. Some producers will say Hanks is difficult. The difficulties here is just because you're fighting for your right. That's it. It might be for the rights of others. That's all. Nothing younger ones. And then they call that difficulty. I still remember some producers will call me and say, hey, Ima, I want to use Hanks in a movie. Please, how do I get it right with him? And I said to them, make sure you feed him and feed him well. That's it. I'm telling you this. This is what I said to somebody, and I didn't call you to tell you that. Yes. I said to them, I say, feed him and feed him well, which is supposed to be the normal thing. Honestly. So why would you bring an actor, a senior actor on set, and you would not feed him?
You don't even get a bottle of water.
You will not give him water, you will not give him a good food, and you expect him to bring out the best of acting in him for your own production. But it doesn't work that way. And then sometimes you get to feed the actor, and then the rest of the crew members and the junior actors are all hungry. And then the actor sits back and just eats. They don't mind it. No. I know some more actors behave like that, but he doesn't.
Don't do that.
He doesn't. I'm saying it because I know. It's all good. You see, this is just one of the reasons this podcast makes sense to our gutter. Sure. We have to explain some of those things to both you people that did it, that are still there, yourselves, and then the upcomers that are still planning to be directors, producers, and actors, so you know how to treat people right. Moving forward, you already told us, because I was going to ask you about your relocation to Ghana, but I think you've already narrated already to us. And then, was there at any point in time you were under the payroll of the Delta State government? It was rumored once.
Well, was not under any payroll of the Delta State government. I was made SA, and at some point in time, we also had the governor had a little hitch in service. Then he made me SA as Dr. Manuel Wetudwala. And while waiting and all that for the court cases and all this other, you know, in politics, we have insiders who just hate you because they know that you're going to be above them, you know? And they're like, wow, these guys, they know, and they gave me a say. Well, when I went for my appointment letter, they started playing games with me. Then, you know, I was supposed to be made SSA from that Commissioner Reform of came in, made me of SA. That was supposed to be mine. Because I was there for Reform of I campaigned for him. That made him want. He won because of my fans who followed me to vote for him. But I guess because of the tribal whatever, and they gave it to Mofer, and then because I came from Ikada, they left me behind. You see, I've suffered a lot out of being good to people. And then if you see me just stay by myself and just want to be myself, it's not because I don't love people. I love people, but I just want to be a little more careful because of what people might say.
Past experience.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think anybody in Delta State would tell you they don't know me. They know me. I'm more popular than most of the governors. They know me. I campaigned for a lot of people, even into the presidency. But I haven't gotten no payroll. I go through stress every day, knowing that one day God is going to remove that thorn from wherever it's planted so I can have another skill through, you know. And not being without a job for more than 8 years or 9 years or thereabout, it ain't easy, man. And I have a family, you know what I'm saying? If I think of the stress I get from my kids bothering me and their mom over, you know, finances and all that, I don't sleep sometimes. You know, I'm moved and kicked about all over the place as if I'm a puppet on a string, but it's just my humility that keeps me that way. It's not that I can't fight back physically. I know what to do, but I just don't have the time to go into a fracas with anybody. So I go bear my cross and walk away.
All right, this is to the Delta State government. This is your son, Mr. Anuku. I think he has contributed a lot, not just to Delta State, but to Nigeria as a whole. I know that oftentimes the government don't pay attention to the industry called Nollywood, or not talk of paying attention to the individuals that come from the states, from the various states. But I think we should do better. The governors of different states should do better in aiding some of us, in aiding some of these legends. It's not easy. He is one of the people that has put this country on the map, on the global map. There's nowhere that Mr. Hanks Anuku goes to today that he will not be recognized by the high and mighty. But just listen to him now. For over 8 years, he's not been working. How do you expect him to survive? How do you expect him to take care of his children? How do you expect him to... Sometimes some people will say, so Hanks is not looking good. How do you expect him to look good when he doesn't have jobs coming in? Think about it for a minute. I'm going to ask you 3 questions from the social media. We were TikTok live, and I said I was going to carry them along. So we picked up 3 questions from the TikTok audience, the questions that they wanted to ask you. So quickly, we're just going to go through these 3 questions. John Harris says, what are your major challenges in Nollywood? But I think you have relatively answered this. Yes, yeah. If you listen to the podcast, you will hear some of the challenges, both with the colleagues and the industry. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into the number 2 question. And this one is coming from Dr. Chidi. Dr. Chidi from Toronto, Canada, and he says, Mr. Hanks, that was a skit you made with Mr. Macaroni.
Yeah.
Where he gathered, if you called it Nollywood Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Yes, I was supposed to be part of that skit. He contacted me, but I think it was a December period there. I was very travel, so I couldn't come. You were there.
Yes, I was.
So Mr. Chidi said, why were you not lively in that skit?
The skit was supposed to have continuity. Supposed to translate into something else, but what he wrote there was just a line or two for me. Yeah, just to show the Nollywood bad voice, and they're different from where it was supposed to blow up to something else, and the second time around, which we're still expecting him to call up. Yep.
Okay, so is it okay? So because your lines were few there, you feel it was not appropriate for you?
I mean, it wasn't appropriate for me to have such a short line. I wanted to delve in, but they had their own
plans.
Yeah, so I looked at it as maybe on the second time around, I would come in to do what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
But we're waiting for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you now. So, Mr. Chidi, I hope you're cleared on that answer. So, now you know.
That was just like a flash.
So, yes. Okay, so the third question here from a girl, Ep1 or something. She says, what would be your advice to the young people in them trying to achieve their dreams?
Or, on if we go online, some of my seminars or workshops are there, what intentions I have with my film academy, HAFA, and Anuku Film Academy. I have that academy and a Weibo Calvary Polytechnic in my village. But I'm going to bring it into Abuja. And now I think I called you to tell you you're going to be part of that, so we can know how we can work together to partner with, conglomerates, with investors from other countries, how we can partner together to always be here in Abuja and the sites that we have. I have a site now, green area, where we're trying to build this African mini village. One of these days you come take a look at it. We are looking for, I have loads of kids, and I can't count them, from other countries of the world. I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. Please help me. If I locally, I can't do it alone. That's why I want to bring in Hafa to Abuja. And we can find partners to partner with us and find sponsors who would give us what we need to harness these kids, because they're always on my neck. I think it'll go a long way. They love what we do, so we love to help them become what they want to become. But Nigerians are difficult sometimes. They don't understand. They think you want to steal from them. Not stealing anything. You're going to see all the structures. You're going to come there and see everything for yourself. And we're going to be popping movies at least once a month. We must pop a movie. Don't matter if it's a skit. Don't matter if it's whatever. And I can help them if they let me. You can also help them if they let you do that. So, what do? We got to go with our knees, and after prayer, we ask God to direct us destiny helpers who have monies, whose children have been watching our movies for years and are grown-ups now, who felt impacted personally by what we did back in the year. Can your parents or can your friends who are wealthy have a little sympathy to come into our program and help us a little bit so that we can lift up the kids and polish up the rusty parts of their talents and bring them joy. Because, a kid who has a talent and you lift that kid and the talent to rot away, he will never be happy, because that's what God gave to him. And he has seen us as helpers. We are destiny helpers as well. Why can't you just say, hey, this is where we come in here? The government have the funds to help us, but there's so much bureaucracy, they make things tough for everybody, as if we are nobodies. And we bring joy to you. We bring laughter to you. Laughter bring it healing. We make you feel good, better than yesterday, today. Yes. So please, I would say, let us pray harder. Maybe we'll see somebody in government who will say, hey, we love these people and what they're doing. We got to have a meeting with them to help them. If they help us, we also helping the nation grow. Your nation is Nigeria, the most black populous nation in the world. And they will get to hear about Nigeria in a different form.
Nollywood is one of the biggest creator of jobs in Nigeria. So as individuals, having our own production outfits can also help us to employ a lot of youth into these jobs. The same issue you're going through, same issue I'm answering. A lot of people want to be actors. My DMs are always cheap. But what they don't understand is that we need a lot of funds to help. That's it. And we don't have these funds. You will stand beside. So in talking about job creation, government help us to help that. Please create jobs, people, so that, and then make Nigeria a better place.
Yes, once we empower these beautiful kids, we cut restiveness. There won't be problem in the grassroots of fighting a crisis, tribal crisis, or this and that. I have Hausa friends, I have Igbo friends, I have Yoruba friends. I mean, they're all my friends. We're one. Let's just ask the government, please, come into our situation so that we can make your children have laughter and add value to their lives again.
Thank you very much, Farad. And this brings us to the concluding part of this podcast. But I'm going to flash you 10 quick questions, and you're going to give us your choices on these questions. Number 1, who would you rather choose, Burna Boy or Timaya in the music sector?
Burna Boy.
Which do you prefer? Do you prefer rice or swallow for your meal?
Rice.
In the United Kingdom, there are these two teams, Man City and Manchester. These are some of the top teams in the United Kingdom. Which one would you rather go with?
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Where would you rather go for your holidays, America or Canada?
I would want to go. I've been to America before. I would love to go to Canada.
Okay, smooth. So, between these two top female actors, who is your favorite, Genevieve or Omotola?
Genevieve.
Who would you rather be our president of Nigeria? In as much as we have someone there already, would you rather it be Tinubu or Peter Obi?
I would love to leave it the way it is.
Tinubu then it should be. Where would you rather be, Lagos or Abuja? Because you've tested these two cities.
I want to be in Abuja.
Abuja it should be. So which is your favorite car, Mercedes-Benz or BMW?
Well, in as much as I used to drive BMW Classics, I can't find them anymore, because my house was cut up in an inferno. I had to give away a lot of stuff after being devastated. But now I drive a Benz. I drive a CL55, so I'll stick with the Benz.
Smooth. Okay, so on social media frontier, which is your favorite, TikTok or Instagram? Instagram? Okay. Are you a fan of iPhone or Android? Oh, I like iPhones, but I use Androids. Yeah, when I can afford it, I can't afford an iPhone now, so I'll stick with my Android. Thank you very much, Mr. Hans Anuku, for coming to our podcast, Nollywood Hardcore. Thank you. I'm sure this session is going to inspire a whole lot of people, both our colleagues and also the people out there, to be better persons in the society. Yeah. Yeah. But before you leave, like we always do, thank our thank our guests with something. Not too much, but at least it's just something that you can remember the fact that you were here on Nollywood Hardcore. And that's why we have this. This is Nollywood Hardcore right here. I can see here, but yes, our true story. And this is customized only for you. This is. Oh, what's Nico right here? Dang, nobody's gonna claim it. Nobody. I appreciate that, man. You're welcome. So this is for you. These are man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, come here. Oh, wow, great. Yeah. We'll wear this on a weekend. That's right. Oh, this is awesome, man. Damn. So, wow. So, gentlemen and ladies, at this point brings us to the ending part of this beautiful podcast known as the Nollywood Hardcore The Legends Untold Story, with your favorite E Nolly Labista right here. Today is Hanks Anuku. Tomorrow is going to be another legend. I don't have a name for who it is going to be. Once the guest shows up, you get to see the person. Before then, stay blessed and whatnot. Thank you. Thank you.